and welcome to the Caplexus Capital podcast, where you choose to go beyond theory and into real learning, real careers, and real industry insight. I'm your host, Riya Lashkari, and today we have with us Sweeya Gadam as our guest. Hi, Sweeya. Can you please briefly introduce yourself?
Hi, Riya. Nice to be here. So, I'm Sweeya, and I'm currently doing my MBA at SDA Bocconi. And I come from an engineering background. So, I've done my computer science engineering, and then right after engineering, I worked for 2 years in a company called Virtusa, where I primarily worked on service now. So, yeah, that's about me, and I'm just figuring things out during MBA. I'm having fun. I'm learning. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah, right. So here you said, that you spent around 2 years as a software engineer at Virtusa, right? Uh,
Virtuosa, yeah.
yeah. So, how was it handling clients and what was your typical day looked like? Tell us more about your corporate experience.
Yeah, so like I said, I worked on ServiceNow, and it's like a cloud-based tool. So it's not something that I learned during engineering. It's something that I had to learn once I got into work. So there was a lot of training that happened for us, and we had to do a lot of certifications. Like even ServiceNow as a company provides a lot of certifications. So the more you do, the more higher up you can go, into your role. So I think I did two certifications, and yeah, I think mainly for like a day in my life would be just I sat in stand-up calls. We used to understand, re user requirements, and we used to get assigned what to work on for the day or for the week. And yeah, I worked mainly on making dashboards or reports for the project that I was in. And yeah, uh, that's like the crux of what I did in Virtusa. There was a lot of um, communication and processes that happened. And yeah, that was mostly it. Yeah,
It seems like you learned like a great deal.
I
Um,
did. I did.
so you mentioned that you were an engineering student. So what was
Hmm.
that turning point where you realized you want to move from tech into management?
I don't think I had like one moment where I thought, okay, I want to do this. Personally, I feel like ever since I was doing engineering, I've always had MBA at the back of my mind. I feel like I kept it away for a long time. I thought, okay, I'm doing engineering, I'm in computer science, so then maybe this is what I should do, and I should do justice to the course that I'm in. So, which is why I started working as well. But I think um, I survived tech. I survived my company, but I felt like it was very monotonous for me.
Okay.
And I personally wanted something more creative, more exciting. And I also felt like just doing, a developer role or something that I just had to listen to people tell me, okay, do this, do that, and this is your work for today. I just felt like this is not something that I want to do over time. And I knew that even if I jumped roles, even if I jumped jobs, I would still be doing much of the same thing. So I thought, okay, you know what, I want to do an MBA. I finally decided to do an MBA, and I'm drawn towards marketing because it's more creative.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's when the shift happened.
Oh, nice. So maybe between while you weren't, have, like doing the job, you realize that, like, you want something that you can explore more, or, you want to go into something that, that's something that you enjoy doing and it's not monotonous.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
corporate life often teaches us lessons no classrooms can, right? So, what's one lesson
Hmm.
from your work experience that still stays with you today?
Um, okay, so it taught me a lot. But I think one thing that I remember initially was something that I got into a little trouble also was it doesn't like you can't just sit and like wait for people to tell you stuff to do. I thought, okay, I'm logging in at the right time, or they want me to be at the office at 9 o'clock. I'm in the office by 8:30, and I'm buffer like I'm in the office for 9 hours. I think this would do, and they give me work, I'll do it. I think that just following a pattern is not enough. I feel like you should go out and put yourself out there a lot more. Go out, keep asking your managers or mentors, hey, can I do something more? And just communicate more, this is, I can do this. Sell yourself a better way, in a better way. So I can do this. Can you also put me in something more, or can I do something more? Just keep asking people about what you can do more, and yeah, just like communicate yourself better. I think that's something I learned, and I think I'll keep that in mind even in my future like jobs.
Yeah, I think that's also like amazing because that way you can even test your capabilities if you're good at this or maybe you enjoy doing this or
Yeah,
that. Yeah, right.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so coming from a technical background, how has that
Hmm.
analytical mindset helped you in your MBA journey so far?
Um, Okay, in a very literal sense, I feel like even coming into MBA, I thought, okay, it's like bye-bye to my everything that I learned in engineering. It's not the case. Like the first, in fact, in my MBA, the first course that we had was data visualization. It was a workshop. And again, we had like statistics and everything that we did in engineering. So, and we had advanced data analytics, and we had a course for from KPMG. So we did Python. So in a literal sense, I feel like that kind of came here as well. I've had to do all of that again. But I feel like, so like I mentioned, we did a course for KPMG, so we learned Python and everything. I think one of the things that my mentors has mentioned uh, was that kind of stuck to me was you can't expect. So in MBA, there are a lot of different people, right? You have people from BBA and engineering and so many different backgrounds. So you can't expect people to learn Python in 1 or 2 weeks. So the whole point of it was to use the knowledge that you have in tech to make better decisions when you become a manager. And I feel like that's one thing that has been really helping me, or I think that I can use further on in whatever company that I work in. I think the fact that I can analyze data, or I can use whatever knowledge I have in a managerial role along with whatever it is that I'm doing, whether I'm in marketing or HR or whatever. It's just that using data and using analysis is side by side is something that I think I've learned better, or I think I want to implement better in the roles that I'm going to get.
Right, agreed. And I think
Mm.
it's there in every business now, like there's data in every
Yeah,
business, and you have to analyze it. And since now there's AI, there's like a more trend of this
yeah,
and a more
yeah.
bigger need of this. So, so yeah, what is something that you've learned so far in your MBA that completely changed the way that you look at companies?
Um, I think just like when I think about companies, like previously I just saw, okay, this is a certain company. I honestly, to be very honest, I didn't have much idea about how companies function previously. Just I just knew, okay, I just knew very basic information about how companies function, about how projects or stuff happen in corporate. But just the fact that, there's so much that goes behind running a company, and there's so many decisions that have to be made, like there's so much strategy involved, and it's like such a how do you say it, like such a proper, intricate mix of everything, right? It's not just one thing, you have to balance out finance, you have to balance out operations, and they should be hand in hand, and even like lacking in one thing make the business lopsided. So I think that's something that I've seen, even when my professors used to teach me, case studies and everything, that became so evident and became so real that, okay, stuff like this happens and it's so important to keep things balanced. And I think that's one thing that I've learned, or at least I've started noticing about companies more
That's
after MBA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like you should have a little bit of knowledge of everything and then maybe you can master one thing.
everything.
Yeah, I feel like want to
Exactly.
be a good
Yeah.
entrepreneur. Yeah, you should need to have that
You
knowledge.
should.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
about today's world and everything, the future. So yeah, many people hesitate to leave stable careers. How did you navigate the
Hmm.
uncertainty of moving from engineering into management? Like, were you hesitant into moving into that? I mean, like, you've made your decision, but like, were you uncertain if it would work or not? Or maybe, like, what was your feeling when you're changing your careers, and what do you wanna tell people who pivot their careers to, some other career?
So yeah, I was very nervous about it because none of my friends did an MBA. Most of them did masters and they did something masters in, computer science or analytics, and none of them did an MBA. So I didn't have a lot of people in real time who shifted careers. So I was a bit nervous about it. I wouldn't lie, but and also, one of the biggest changes that I had was giving up my financial independence and going back to relying on my parents for
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
I think I had some savings, but again, I had to rely on my parents. I think that was the biggest change in my life and the most uncomfortable one, I must say. But yeah, I feel like I had to take this step, I wanted to make something else out of myself, and I was hell bent on getting into MBA and into a good MBA college and doing an MBA, and I was very sure about it. I don't think I'm not someone who's very quick with decisions. I can't make decisions like that. I take a lot of time to ponder upon what to do, what to not do, and I talked to a lot of people. But I think this just came to me. I thought, okay, I should do this, and I am very like grateful for my parents as well because they've always given me that freedom to like explore whatever it is that I wanted. So yeah, I mean, I just thought, okay, 2 years of this is going to get me into something that I want to do for the rest of my life. So I think I can take this. So yeah, I mean, and also coming here into MBA, you see so many people like you, right? So again, I didn't feel alone anymore. So it was just a few months of uncertainty that I could just take. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. There are a lot of engineering students and even people from different backgrounds like arts and everything coming here to
Hmm.
study MBA. And with good support, like good parenting support, and
Yeah.
just the attitude of like, just do it, like I wanna do more, explore myself more, and
Yeah.
be my full potential. I think, yeah, that's makes you go ahead. So,
Yeah.
you mentioned that you are more into creative side, you like marketing. Do you also like write? Like, do you happen to write, or like do you enjoy writing as well, or
So I did,
any other creative hobby?
yeah. So yeah, I used to read books since I was a kid. So I think I've never explored writing up until engineering. And in engineering, I joined an e-magazine that of my college. So my college e-magazine, and I started working as a writer for it. And over time, I think I gained a lot of confidence in it. And in fact, uh, throughout my engineering experience, that was one of the best parts of it, like the e-magazine contributing to it, because I felt like I was not very technical like my peers. They used to be, hardcore coders and very technical. I was not one of them. And here, at least in the magazine, I felt like I had, I felt like I had something. I did something, and so I used to write there. And I also worked as an editor for a few editions for the magazine, and I worked as the representative for the magazine. I basically went all into the magazine. Like I put everything in it, and I wanted to do a lot more for it. And yeah, so that's where I think I explored my creative side of things. I used to write. Yeah,
That's amazing. So, if you had to choose today, solving a business problem with data or telling a story through
Mhm.
words, what excites you more and why?
Definitely. I think telling a story through words. Um, I think, yeah, like I said, I've grown up reading, so I've always had half a mind some in Hogwarts or somewhere. I've always lived in fantasy land. So I think I can uh put myself better, in words, to people who can relate to me. And I know there are a lot of people who are in this zone of
Yeah.
things, Yeah, so yeah, but also like you can't avoid data, you can't ignore it. So yeah, maybe using data a bit, using it in storytelling. So yeah, I think that'll work, but mostly storytelling, yeah.
Nice.
Mm.
So, even storytelling is like very important in marketing as well. So,
Yeah.
like everything like connects so much, no? Um,
Hmm.
so,
Yeah.
like when we were talking earlier, you mentioned that, you're doing an internship and you are into new experiences. So, if you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone through internships, courses, new experiences, what has been the most uncomfortable but rewarding step so far?
Mm. Uh, okay. I think just the whole experience of me shifting to Mumbai, and since my college is in Mumbai, and yeah, like the whole experience of taking care of myself, like cooking for myself, and taking care of everything about myself, and also dealing with college and um assignments, group works, case competitions, or whatnot. You're aware of it. So I think all dealing with all of this has put me in a place where I had to go out of my comfort zone. And I must say that I actually enjoy it because I feel like, okay, I kind of feel very powerful when I do this. It's like, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. So yeah, I mean, it's nice that I'm putting myself in a zone where I never thought I would be in. I never thought I could stretch myself this way, but once I did, I'm like, okay, there's a lot more in me that I can do. So I think the most rewarding part of the whole thing is just the knowledge that I can do it. And it makes me feel more prepared for, what's coming in the future and for corporate in general. So yeah,
Agreed. Yeah, just like pushing through and it's all a journey. You should just
yeah,
like enjoy every experience, right?
yeah.
MBA life can be a bit overwhelming because there are like so many opportunities, like you mentioned. So how do you decide like what to explore and what to let go of?
Oh. So I think I'm someone who likes dabbling a lot in a lot of things. I've done that since I was a kid. I've tried a lot of hobbies and stuff. So even here, I feel like I tried working on a lot of live projects. I think that's one of the best things that MBA offers, like giving students the opportunity to work in live projects. And you just get a better sense of what you can do or what you want to do, in my opinion. So I worked on a marketing live project. I worked for an operations live project for on Lean Six Sigma, and then also started an analytics live project. So it just showed me that okay, you know what, I'm more interested in marketing, so I can do this. But the one I worked on operations was a little too technical for me, a little too how do I say, monotonous again for me. So I felt like, okay, maybe I don't want to do this. So that doesn't mean that I don't want to do operations ever in my life. Maybe I might change my mind. But for now, I feel like, okay, this is what I'm interested in. So let me do this. So I think, yeah, just experimenting with a lot of things. And yeah.
Yeah, right. So you also mentioned, that you value your alone time, like you like reading and writing and, slowing down a bit. So in a world obsessed with hustle, how important do you think is solitude for you for growth?
It's so important. I can't even begin to explain because I feel like I haven't gotten that in my MBA until now. I haven't gotten that alone time.
Yeah.
But okay, with MBA, I'm like, okay, it's fine because after 2 years, I might not even, live with my friends again or, ex enjoy the way that I'm enjoying right now. So, abhi ke liye I'm fine, but like later on, sorry, but otherwise, I feel like it's so important. And I'm ambitious about my career, but I'm also someone who's very connected to my people in my life, like my family or even myself. I've grown up very independently, and I like, taking a book out and going to have a bite by myself or going to a movie by myself. I love doing that. So I feel like I can't I want to do a lot for my career, but not at the cost of, letting go of myself completely or not knowing where I am in life, or just, keeping in touch with myself or the people in my life. So I think that's something that I can't give up. So yeah, I would say that hustling is great. It's amazing, but not at the cost of, this, my personal time or my time with people. So
That's true because when you mention that you can go out alone, whether it's for a movie or for a dinner, for a bite, because a lot of people cannot do that. They always need some company, and most people are
um,
often like so used to hustling that when they get the time to rest, they are like so anxious that you cannot rest even for a bit. Like you need to always do something or something, like something or something or another, like. So yeah, I think this is amazing. This is like one amazing quality that you have. So yeah. So,
thank
you
you.
know, so if you could run one marketing campaign for any brand today, which brand would it be and what consumer insight would you focus on?
I think like a brand that comes to my mind right now is Soul Store. And I used to follow this brand for a lot of time. I think um, even when I was in 11th or 12th, I think this company came out, and it started off with merchandise and stuff. So back then I used to be into Harry Potter a lot. So this was one of the few Indian companies that was manufacturing something, merch for fandoms and everything. So I think if I had to run a marketing campaign, it would be something related to this. I feel like people, like especially youth, like youngsters, we are putting ourselves in a lot of different worlds, like whether it be anime or, books or, TV shows or Marvel, movies. I feel like I would probably like showcase that, about real time people, real time people who actually use the merch in their own like little bubble in their own world, and how people who are using the same brand can look so different, and they can feel more connected. I think that's something that I would do as of now. Yeah.
Okay. So, if
Yeah.
someone, like, this is our last question. So, yeah. So, if someone listening
Okay.
is in their first job and, is feeling a little lost, what would you tell them from your own experience?
Um, like if that one thing that I would say is it's okay to be lost. It's completely fine. This is your first job. You're still young. It's okay to figure things out. Yeah, just like don't just keep checking in with with yourself is what I would say. Just keep asking yourself if this is what you want to do, and if it is, then that's fine. That's well and good. You're in the right path. But if it's not, then it's not too late to, change things around. I've done it, and I think as of now my life is going pretty well. And so yeah, it's okay to be a little lost, but yeah, just like keep in touch with yourself is what I would try to tell them. Yeah.
Right. So that brings us to the end of today's episode of the Caplexus Capital podcast. A huge thank you to our guest Sweeya Gadam for taking out the time to share such valuable insights and experiences with us. At Caplexus Capital, we believe going beyond classroom learning and creating real industry awareness through meaningful conversations, practical exposure, and mentorship-led growth. And that is exactly what we aim to bring you through every episode of this podcast. So, thank you to everyone who tuned in. I'm your host, Riya Lashkari, and I'll see you in the next episode with more stories, more insights, and more conversations that help you grow. Until then, keep learning, keep building, and keep moving forward. Thank you so much, Suya.
Thank you so much, Ria. You were an amazing host.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.